You sit down at the kitchen table on a Sunday night with 3 bills spread out in front of you. A credit card, a line of credit, the car loan. You've got a little money set aside, so you do what feels responsible. A bit on this one, a bit on that one, a bit on the last. You feel like you're handling it. Then next month comes and the balances have barely moved. You pay again and again, and the pile just sits there, staring back at you. Tonight, let's fix that. There's a smarter order to pay this off, and it can save you months and real money. Here's why nothing moves. When you spread your extra money evenly across all 3 debts, you barely beat the interest on any of them. Each balance keeps growing in the background while you chip away at the surface. Your card alone might charge close to 20% a year. That's interest piling on interest, faster than small even payments can cut it down. So you pay every month, you stay disciplined, and the balances barely budge. The order you're paying in is quietly working against you. Let's make this real with 3 debts, the kind a lot of Canadians carry at once. A credit card with $6,000 on it at 20%. A line of credit, $12,000 at around 9%. And a car loan, $4,000 left at about 8%. That's $22,000 of debt across 3 accounts. And say you've got $700 a month total to throw at all of it. That's a real budget, a real mess, and exactly the spot where the order you choose starts to matter. First, understand the minimum payment, because it's a trap dressed up as a courtesy. On that $6,000 card at 20%, the minimum might be around $120. Pay only that, and most of it just covers the interest. You're barely touching what you actually borrowed. The card company is perfectly fine with this. They'd happily collect that interest for years. The minimum is the floor, the smallest payment that keeps you current. Your real progress comes from every dollar you pay on top of it. So you've paid every minimum. Now you've got a little extra money and one big question. Which debt gets it first? This is where 2 well-known methods split apart. One is called the debt avalanche, the other is the debt snowball. They both work. They both get you out. They just disagree on the order you attack your debts in, and that one difference decides how much interest you pay and how the whole climb feels along the way. Start with the avalanche, the method the math loves. You pay every minimum, then send all your extra money at the debt with the highest interest rate, whatever its balance happens to be. In our example, that's the credit card at 20%. You hammer that card while paying just the minimums on everything else. The day it finally hits 0, you move to the next highest rate, the line of credit at 9%. Highest rate first, all the way down. You're starving the debt that grows the fastest. Now the snowball, the method built around how people actually feel. You pay every minimum, then throw your extra money at the smallest balance instead, no matter what its rate is. In our example, that's the $4,000 car loan. You clear that one first, even though 8% is the lowest rate of the 3, because it's the quickest one to wipe out. You get a win fast. One whole debt gone. Then you roll everything onto the next smallest and the next. So which one saves you money? On paper, the avalanche wins every time. By killing the highest rate first, you stop the most expensive interest the fastest. Run our example with $700 a month. The avalanche clears all 3 debts in a little over 3 years and costs you roughly $4,100 in interest. The snowball, starting with the car, takes about a month longer and costs around $400 more. $400 is real money. It's a flight home or a month of groceries. So if the lowest possible interest is your only goal, the Avalanche is your answer. Here's the catch the math doesn't show. Whether you ever finish paying off your debt comes down to whether you can stick with it for years, and the Avalanche can be brutal at the start. The highest rate debt is sometimes a big one, so you can grind away for months without fully clearing a single account. No finished debt, no proof it's working. That's exactly the spot where most people quit. The Snowball hands you a finished debt early, often within weeks. That feeling of one account closed, done, gone, is what carries you through the long months when your motivation runs thin. And this isn't only a feel-good idea. Researchers at Northwestern University looked at how people really pay down debt and found that those who started with their smallest balance were more likely to clear all of their debt in the end. The early win kept them in the fight. Think about that for a second. The method that's slightly worse on paper can win in real life because it's the one people actually finish. A plan you abandon at month 4 saves you nothing, no matter how perfect the math behind it was. So how do you actually run this? Step 1. Get it all out of your head and onto one page. List every single debt you have, the balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment for each one. Credit cards, the line of credit, the car loan, that buy now pay later balance you'd half forgotten about. All of it. Most people have never once seen their debts lined up in a single place. It's uncomfortable for about 10 minutes. Then, for the first time, you can actually see what you're really dealing with. Step 2. Pick one method and commit to it. If saving the most interest is what drives you, go Avalanche and rank your debts by rate, highest first. If you know in your gut that you need a quick win to stay motivated, go Snowball and rank them by balance, smallest first. Either way, the rule from here is exactly the same. Pay the minimum on every debt, then put every extra dollar you have on the one single debt at the top of your list. One target at a time, all of your firepower on it. Step 3 is the part most people miss, and it's where the whole thing speeds up. When your first debt finally hits 0, do not take that freed up payment and spend it. Roll it forward. Take every dollar you were putting on that dead debt and pour it onto the next debt on your list, on top of what you were already paying there. So the $120 from the dead credit card now joins the payment on your line of credit. Your total monthly payment stays exactly the same size. It just lands on a smaller and smaller pile each time. This is the snowball effect, and it works for both methods. Each time a debt dies, the next one falls faster, because you're hitting it with every dollar the last debt's used to swallow. The first debt might take you a year. The very last one can vanish in a couple of months. You go from barely keeping up to watching the balances drop in real time. That is the moment people stop dreading their statements and start checking them on purpose, just to watch the number fall. Now picture the day the very last debt hits 0. No card balance, no line of credit, no car payment left. For the first time in years, that $700 a month is fully yours, free and clear. And this is the most dangerous moment in the whole plan, because the easy thing to do is let it quietly disappear into a nicer car, a bigger lifestyle, more stuff, until somehow you're stretched thin all over again, with nothing to show for it. You fought hard for that money. Don't just hand it straight back. So do one thing with it instead. Take that same $700 you were sending to your lenders and start sending it to your future self. You already proved over years that you can live without it. Now point it at a TFSA or an RRSP into a low-cost index fund that holds a small slice of the whole market. The discipline you built paying off your debt is the exact same discipline that quietly builds wealth. $700 a month, invested steadily for years, compounds into real money, and it can grow into hundreds of thousands over a working lifetime. So which method should you choose? Here's the honest answer. The Avalanche saves you the most money. The Snowball keeps you in the fight long enough to actually win. And the best one for you is simply the one you'll truly stick with to the end. If you love the numbers and you know you won't quit, run the Avalanche and save every dollar of interest you can. If you need to feel real progress to keep going, run the Snowball and let those early wins carry you. Both roads end in the very same place, free. So pick your first debt tonight. Write down the order. Pay the minimums, attack the top of the list, and roll every win forward. If this gave you a clear plan, subscribe so the next Canadian Money Breakdown finds you. Take care of yourself, take care of your people, and start tonight.